Thank you for listening to Lone Star Community Radio. This program was broadcasted and recorded live from the LSCR studios in downtown Conroe, Texas. Lone Star Community Radio is supported by listeners like you. Donate and sponsor today. For more information on getting involved with Lone Star Community Radio, contact us at lscrstudios@gmail.com or visit us online at www.irlonestar.com.
I'd like to buy a U.
Well, you're going to get 3 U's.
I'd like to solve the puzzle.
Okay, well, let's hear it.
Treat yourself a round of sausage. Oh.
I'm sorry, that's not it. Over to Katina.
I would like to solve.
Treating ourselves a round of sausage. It's the Audience of One show on Conroe's 106.1 and 104.5 FM, streaming on irlonestar.com and available wherever you tend to get your podcast from. On today's show, we discuss being unaware you're naked on TV, an interesting way to boost your church congregation, and our pathetic attempt to talk to aliens. My pathetic attempt to talk right now. I am Andrew, maestro of the run sheet. Next to the guy who doesn't trust his backup camera, it's Dick. I have a library card. Schisler.
Word up, folks.
All right, we're just going to start the show over. That was terrible.
No, we're keeping
My
it.
apologies.
We're keeping it.
I love the terrible answers on game shows, man. That was
You like that?
awesome. Treat yourself a round of sausage.
Yeah, I don't. Well, he
didn't even make
got it
sense.
way wrong. You know that, right?
Well, yeah, you were supposed to play the right answer, too. That's okay. You cut it off a little early.
well, let me say
we're starting the show over. Starting and go.
Why are we starting the show over? No, it's supposed to be applause, so it started with an A. I don't know where he got sausage.
I don't know where he got any of it. It
But,
was terrible.
Maybe he was thinking of, treating himself to a round of sausage. I love it.
Yeah, and it kind of reminds me of, like, have you ever seen the Family Feud, where the guy it's usually the guy at the very end of the family there who gives like a terrible answer. It's just absolutely horrible, and the rest of the family has to go, yeah, good answer.
Especially when it's
no
sexual
shot
or
at it.
something. It's like, no one voted on that, dude. No one said that in the... Yeah,
Yeah, it's like, what is it? Top 5 kitchen utensils. He's like, hair clipper, and they're going, good answer, good answer. It's the best.
Yeah.
Anyways, treat yourself a round of sausage,
I love it.
everyone.
I love it.
Onesies. Welcome back. It's our episode before Thanksgiving.
I just ate Thanksgiving, by the way.
that's what you were saying, man.
So I'm a little full. I was treated like a king at the Honor Cafe down the street. Shout out to Chris. If you're in the area, go to Honor Cafe. It's a really great place. The food, they give you so much food for everything. But I was telling Andrew,
Veteran-owned and themed.
yes, and I walked in and they have a Blue Line special, which usually is just like, it's like a blue plate. You know what I'm talking about? You ever heard of the Blue Line kind of stuff?
I've heard of a blue light special.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. It's like it's like $14. You get whatever's on the plate. And then they walked in and they had a Thanksgiving dinner. And I was like, oh, that looks really good. Like, I could totally go for all those things. But I was like, I'm going to be too full. So I ordered just a normal cheeseburger there, and it was good. And then the owner knew I liked that food, so he brought me a free plate. And I was like, there's so much food. So, of course, when I'm sitting here all day doing shows, in between shows, I'm slowly eating. Next thing I know,
Sweet potatoes.
I'm going into the Thanksgiving meal, and I'm like, oh,
Cranberry sauce.
Andrew's going to love this. I just ate
Yeah, I
all
walked in the
food.
studio and went, oh no, what happened?
And I didn't move. I was
I
like,
just ate a lot. I just ate Thanksgiving dinner.
but yeah, did you have a good weekend, man?
I did, man. I saw the Tyson fight, much like 60 million other people did. Did you watch the Tyson fight?
Yeah, actually, I have a picture I wanted to show the audience. So,
I'm a little scared.
I went in town for birthdays and seeing family in Houston and having fun. And my buddies were actually conveniently called me and they're like, "Hey, we're in town." And I'm like, "Hey, I'm in town." And then
We're all in town.
No, it was one of those weird things. So we met up at a bar, their usual bar when they lived here, and we asked the lady. They're like, "Hey, do you have the Tyson fight?" And she's like, "No, it's on Netflix. We're not allowed to show Netflix," which I think they're allowed to. I was trying to tell her you should be fine, but then I realized I had the laptop in my car, and so we knew some of the bar waiters and stuff there, so they got an extension cord. We got the big table.
You're telling me you put on a rogue broadcast of the Tyson
I put
fight.
on the Tyson fight, but I'm going to show a picture to the audience.
Love it.
This is about halfway through the fights we started getting all these
Oh, my.
people hanging out with us, and they're watching my laptop, and then
They may want to rethink their Netflix rule.
Yeah,
It's like you got the majority of the bar behind
and I don't
you.
know. I know about 2 people in that picture. And at the end of like when the Tyson fight started, it was completely like everybody was there. The whole bar was just hanging out there.
Did you get some buffering, or did you were you able to get through the stream?
Yeah, we got through it.
Man, I
Yeah.
did not. I had to watch a Rogue stream for a little while, and then eventually the real one came back. But yeah, I was like most everybody else having buffering issues. You know, as you get a little older, you tend to have more buffering issues than you probably care to.
Talk
but
about Tyson.
yeah, he was a buffering issue, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Look, what did you expect? I think I went on these very airwaves months ago and said the fight wasn't going to happen anyway, so I was wrong there. But once I knew it was going to happen, come on, it was not going to be a real fight. I knew that. And the people who were disappointed after the fact, shame on you. Did you really think that Jake Paul, whose job is to promote stuff on social media, was going to do anything other than what Jake Paul does? And Mike Tyson, who hasn't really been a competitive fighter for 20 years, is really going to want to fight? It was a big
Well,
force.
not even that. 60 versus 30.
Yeah, it's pretty sick.
Roughly.
It's pretty sickening,
And
actually.
I'm thinking,
Let's just boil it down to the basics.
well, there were some people at this bar that were genuinely upset. It's like, oh, this was rigged. And I'm looking at the guy,
That's my point.
and I'm like, why would you bet
Why-
money on this? And then why would you want to, think this could not be rigged? Like, this guy's 60. So
Correct.
he literally could have just fallen over at any point and be like, I just don't want to get up.
Yeah.
But I was there was a sliver. I was hoping, is it Jake Paul?
Yeah, I believe so.
So I was like, if Jake Paul accidentally knocks out,
Theodore Paul, something like that. Yeah.
he accidentally knocks out Tyson, you know how hilarious that would have been?
Place would have been a little upset.
And well, my mind, I go, I would love to be that one guy. Because when I tell people stories, I don't tell like the full truth. That's clearly. I'd be like, hey, I knocked out Tyson. I'm like one of the few people that knocked him out. And it's true.
He was just a senior citizen
It was
at the
just,
time.
I mean,
Yeah.
but you use all the fluff pieces. Like, oh, it was a real fight. It was, what do you call it, registered or sanctioned?
Yeah, sanctioned. I think they
I'm like,
managed to get it sanctioned
I was
somehow.
in the sanctioned fight, beat up Mike Tyson, knocked him out. What's up?
Yeah, I mean, rigged may not be the exact correct word to use, but it's definitely rigged adjacent. It was clear to me that they had guidelines that they were following, and the fight only lasted about 3 or 4 rounds, and after that, it was just Tyson running away from him, basically, because he was out of shape, tired, knee was hurt, and it was kind of pathetic, to be honest with you. And it did look like
I was
kind
kind of hoping though either one of them could knock out each other. Just with like,
wasn't going to happen,
because
man.
boxing
Wasn't gonna
It
happen.
happens sometimes. Where like one punch hits you a certain way and you're out.
Sure.
And luckily, we had better fights the next day with the UFC.
I want to see Jake Paul fight one of those ladies that fought before
Oh,
him.
dude.
Now that would be a spectacle because I heard that those ladies were actually going at it.
You hear a joke. We're at the bar, and all these people are like watching the girls. Like they're beating the crap out of each other. Oh my
Mm-hmm.
god, they're bleeding everywhere. And I go, you know what's really funny about this? And they're like, well, I was like, there's gotta be one dude who's like turned on by this,
Absolutely.
and like with the blood and everything. I love it. You know, it's but you saw the UFC fights though.
No,
right?
I didn't see him, man.
That I've never actually sat down and watched the prelims all the way through pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it started around 4 or 5 and went till like 12:31, and I watched a lot of fighting, and that stuff's entertaining.
That rot your brain, man.
That stuff's real entertaining. They hit hard, and
I did hear that there was quite an interest in boxing, like boxing classes and things after this Jake Paul, leading up to
I
and
wouldn't
after
doubt it.
the Jake Paul Tyson
I wouldn't
fight.
doubt it.
That just tells me the fight was so bad. People are like, hey, I could do that. Looks easy. Just dance
But no,
around
that-
for 8 rounds.
I'm a big fan of UFC now. That was awesome. There were some great fights.
Just now, huh?
well, I mean, like,
It's like UFC 343.
well, I'm in more of.
I think I like this now.
Well, it's more of like making a plan to go see it. Because now that I know how it works, I'm like, oh, there's prelims. There's all this other stuff. Like, it's not just we gotta wait for Tyson to fight. Gross. So
Yeah,
now,
the prelims are usually really little people too, right? Like
Well,
not
this-
little people, but I mean like the smaller.
Well, yeah, well,
like the lightweights and stuff, right?
no. What
No?
it is just the
Should be
tier.
little people. That'd be good
it's,
too.
It's the tier because I think they do. Each weight class has 20 tiers or 20 people that are ranked, and then usually the prelims are like the people below the top 20, and they're trying to get points to move up into the top 20.
Right.
So they're fighting. Like, they really want to hurt each other and get knockouts and get points. And
Not
stuff
like
like
Jake
that.
Paul and Mike Tyson.
Yes. And so I saw one of my favorite fights were these two women. And I'd never really, I've never been in a fight. So I don't know how, like,
You want to go?
Well, no, it's more of,
change
I
that
always
right
wondered
now.
how people get cut so easily on their face without even.
Let me show you.
Well, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And these
'Cause they're getting
ladies,
hit.
I know, but like,
Yeah.
like there was one fight. This dude got elbowed like 19 times in the face, and so when he finally started bleeding, I'm like, man, that took forever. Like he was just getting, yeah. And then he like this awesome cut over his eye. But these ladies were fighting, and they were just smacking on each other for a solid minute, just boxing. And then right when they started doing the wrestling, you can't really. It's like all chaos, right? The next thing you know, when they separate, both of them are like dripping blood all over each other. And I go, when did this happen? Like, what? And then there's just blood everywhere. And I was like, yeah, I can see a guy getting turned on by that. Yeah.
Good God.
So, but it was
Sick,
great,
man.
It was great, man.
Well, I'm glad that you have a newfound interest in violence.
And watching my laptop at a bar.
Yes, exactly. Well, the weather has finally turned nice here. You know, it took all the way to nearly the end of November to get fall-like weather. I heard someone the other day say it's fat guy weather.
Yeah, I believe it. I feel
It's wonderful.
I feel very comfortable.
So
right
I'm
now.
out walking in the park in the beautiful weather, and I saw a park bench, and they have these kind of sporadically around the park, and I noticed one of them had like a dedication. It was like dedicated to some lady, you know, in a park bench. And while I think that's pretty cool to have something dedicated to you, park bench seems kind of spare. Just going to throw that out there. Like if you're thinking about dedicating something to me and you come up with a park bench, just skip it. Like never mind.
Well, I think it's like a medium when it comes to agreements of public parks, because they're like, oh, hey, I want to remember my wife. We always came here, and they're like, well, we're not going to let you just do anything. You got an option,
Right.
We'll let you do a park bench, or a tree.
I don't know, carve her name in the tree, something.
Yeah.
Park bench seems really spare. I mean, even a brick like in a building that has people's names on it, to me is better because you're part of a structure. It's going to live on forever.
I would like to be a park bench. I like people sitting on me,
You want a park bench
I like
dedicated
it.
to you?
and it would just say you're sitting on dick.
No,
I think that's great.
you know what you're gonna have? You're gonna have one of those little children's swings. You know, like the ones that come up over your stomach. You put your legs through. That's gonna be dedicated
And
to
it's
you.
inside. It's the plaque is inside of it.
Inside, yeah, right near your crotch.
Oh man, that's great. No, I'm okay with
so
the park
good.
bench.
So good, man.
Yeah.
Anyways, all right, buddy, are you ready to kick off the show? I've got a
it's funny.
ton of wild content
was
this
trying to,
episode. Apparently, the answer is no.
My grandfather.
The show will just have to wait.
My grandparents in Houston were real big philanthropists, and the Houston Museum of Natural Science had
philanthropists.
Yeah, they had a body exhibit,
Oh yeah, I've been to it.
and so they donated some money, and they had like a plaque by the teeth, right? And I remember we all got invited to go, and I remember talking to him. I go, it'd be really funny if you sponsored the penis part. And he's like, why? I was like, think about it. It said sponsored by Dick, like because he's the second. And I was like, that would be really funny because that would throw people off. And he appreciated the joke.
To the point.
He appreciated the joke, and now entering Dick.
Love it.
Yeah, I think it's great.
All right, buddy, let's go ahead and kick off the show. We're going to come out of the gates really, really hot. I've got some audio that I want you to play of the Australian Tongue Choir. At first, I thought this was a joke, but no, as it turns out, this deeply distressing choral experience is actually real. I guess they hail from Australia, and they've been around for a while. But listen to this.
That's real. That's real.
The song apparently is called Moscow Nights. Basically, it's a rumbling cappella chorus by flickering
Dude,
their tongues back
that would get
and
tiring.
forth. Yeah, but I bet they get the ladies. Have you ever heard of this? I can't stop. It's like mesmerizing watching these guys sing
I
like
like
this.
it.
Had you ever seen this before?
No.
It came up in one of my social feeds. I thought, no, this isn't real. So I looked it up, outside of the Facebook feed, and I'll be darned, it's real. But I don't know if they're still around. This does appear like it was from years ago. I don't know,
Yeah,
man.
it's like from the 80s.
Well,
That's what it looks like.
interesting. Well, A Japanese reality show contestant was naked for a year and had no idea that 30 million people were watching. This is absolutely insane. I don't know if you're aware of this, but apparently there is back in 1999, a 24-year-old thought he was auditioning for a showbiz-related job on a new TV series called, I'm not pronouncing it. Actually, it translates into "Do not proceed, crazy youth."
I like it.
I love the translations. Anyways, long story short, he goes in there and does not realize that there's hidden cameras, which I'm not sure I'm going to buy. Was told to remove his clothing, red flag number 2, and was apparently going to have to win money totaling, at the time, I think, 100,000 yen, which is by today's standards $15,000. Back then it was $8,000, by completing and winning magazine contests, including food and all kinds of things. It's really wild. He says he didn't want to be naked, but he was told that he had to be, and he felt like he was kind of forced into it. I don't know if you can see some of these pictures that I sent you, but really, really crazy. Basically, he had to win prizes to survive. He had nothing with him. No food, nothing, just a completely empty room with no windows.
And this was 24/7?
24/7. Well, the show ended up being broadcast on Sundays on one of their Nippon, like, really popular television networks.
Yeah.
And it was hugely popular. It's kind of like the Truman Show. And he had absolutely no idea. Now, they did contact his immediate family and his parents and let them know that he was in this and everything was okay. But they made it sound as though he was aware of all of this, but he had absolutely no idea.
How long did it go on for?
Years. Let's
So
see.
he lived in this recorded room for years?
Years.
He never left?
No. The thing is so odd is he could leave on his own accord if he wanted to. He would just have to leave naked. So I guess he felt like, honor, I said I was going to do this and complete this task, and I don't really want to leave naked, so I'm going to complete it till I've won prizes totaling up to $8,000.
And it took him years to make $8,000?
It did. And he, up to and including toilet paper, it said it took him 10 months before he finally earned enough to get toilet paper. He was using his hand.
What? I kind of want to watch this show. I'm down.
It says it took 10 months of wiping himself with his hand before he won toilet paper. This sounds like something you actually know what this does. This sounds like one of these contests you would have me do because you have so much money.
If people are interested, there is a Hulu documentary.
It's a new Hulu documentary
Yeah.
that's coming out about this man, yes.
All right, finally, I get to understand what you're talking. Oh my God!
It says naked on screen. There was an eggplant emoji digitally added to cover his genitals for TV viewers. He entered as many as 400 contests a day in order to win survival tools and even basic comforts. It says early on he won a bag of rice, but he had no way to cook it. So this is back in the day before, the internet, and you could go into these magazines and they had tons of contests, which were essentially just, are you showing the video?
I'm showing the trailer for the documentary.
Which is, they were essentially just advertisements for other companies disguised as contests, essentially. But he would compete in these in an attempt to win money to get out of this room. I don't buy that he didn't know he was being recorded because it does look at times like he's staring right into the camera and...
Well, I could see...
Maybe he didn't at first, but then
I could see
eventually
them
knew.
saying, hey, this is a game show, so you got to stay in this room.
But it won't be broadcast, I think is what they did say once he figured out that he was on camera.
Yeah.
Trying to see how far or how long.
I love it.
Anyways, he apparently became a huge star and had absolutely no idea.
I'd do it.
Would you know?
Oh,
that was going to
yeah.
be my next question.
I mean, actually, I'd make you do it, and I'd do the. I remember one of my dreams is to do stupid stuff with my money and be like, how much money are you willing to do this stupid thing, Andrew?
Right, that's what I'm saying. This is
is
right up your
right up
alley.
my alley.
Yep.
I don't know if I want to see you naked, though. I wouldn't.
It says 15 months, I think, was total of
Dang,
being in there.
Way to go, dude.
Yep. Staying in Japan, do you remember months ago you talked about seppuku?
Yeah.
And I had no idea what it was, and you told me it was basically this Japanese ritual where you would stab yourself in the
and someone
stomach.
chop off your head if you
Yes.
want to be honored.
Well, check this out. We are seeking participants for a seppuku contest to be held in the Dankin Terrace of Matsu City Hall on December 14th. After committing seppuku with a plastic sword, please demonstrate your acting skills by writhing around for 30 seconds to 1 minute. The person with the most vivid performance will be named the champion. However, the use of fake blood is prohibited. This is a Japanese town that is having a seppuku contest. And basically the goal here is to pretend that you've murdered yourself.
I think you do a great job.
Well, apparently it has been canceled due to outrage.
Yeah,
as you can imagine.
That's very disrespectful. I love it.
Well, disrespectful, and let's be honest. I mean, the person who's going to win is the person who acts like they're being killed the best. Probably not a good look for the city. I'm just saying.
It. But still disrespectful.
Is it? Why is it disrespectful? I'm not sure I understand.
Well, because seppuku, is that what it's called? Seppuku? Seppuku. From what I understand, it's like a very hardcore tradition. Like, it is like, this is how you honorably die.
Yeah,
so choosing to do it is something like, if you do it, everyone respects you. So them making fun of it, not dying, actually dying, is probably, in my mind.
Oh, maybe that's what, you're right. Maybe that's what it is.
Because it's like, it's an act of, I know I'm killing myself, but it's...
So it wasn't actually the city that was holding it. It was going to be on city property. It says, yes, Matsui City Hall received and approved the application
journalism over here.
Initially to be held at the dance, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, most people said, nah, we can't do that. Can't do that.
Yeah.
A little bit. I'd like to think that you'd be pretty good at that, by the way.
For pretending to kill myself?
Yeah, man. You know, we have so many...
I would fart a lot. I would eat the most... whatever food it makes me
so
fart.
Realistic. I don't think that's probably the reaction you get as your guts are being coming out. You're probably releasing gas in other areas. You don't need to worry about tooting at that moment.
The judges would be like, is that guy pretending to die, or is he just struggling to fart?
He said Brussels sprouts before he came. I don't know what's going on here. Just looks like he's having a gastro moment. We talk about artificial intelligence a lot on this program, and I think you and I both kind of come to the conclusion that we really aren't sure what it's good for at this point and really what it is. But I think we're both going to be in agreement that this is finally something AI has gotten right. Introducing Daisy, the AI granny outwitting scammers. This is hilarious. British telecom company Virgin Media O2 on Thursday introduced Daisy, a custom-made human-like chatbot that answers calls in real time, keeping fraudsters on the phone as long as possible in a bid to annoy and frustrate them, just as they do to our customers worldwide. I love it. And I love the fact that it's like a grandma, too, because that makes it so much more believable.
Oh, yeah. Because
if it was like some young kid... and like, it wouldn't work with Gen Z. So like the scammer would be like, yes, and sir, all we need to complete this transaction is your social security. And he'd be like, yeah, whatever, boomer. Okay, boomer, whatever. It's not going to work. But if Granny, oh, well, absolutely. Hold on. It's in my purse right here. Let me thumb through this.
Wrong purse.
Yeah. That's my evening bag. Hold on.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah.
This is fantastic. And again, I'm not sure why AI has to do it, but I guess it's because it's going to react to their prompt, so it has to know, I guess. How do you train for something like this? Because AI is just basically a training thing. I'm wondering how they trained this type of software to come up with this.
Well, I mean, they already have it where you call the bank or something and it's AI talking to you. So they have the capabilities of listening to certain things, like requests.
Yeah, and maybe they're recording scammers.
It triggers the next thing. Yeah, I can see it. I think it's great.
It says Daisy is the newly dubbed O2's, quote, head of scammer relations. Impersonates an older adult, making her part of the demographic that is particularly vulnerable to scams.
We kind of did this a while back in high school. I think it was Verizon at the time. If you were deaf, you could log into this thing, and basically it would call someone for you. You can type what you want this Verizon representative to say to the person on the phone because you're deaf.
Oh, cool. All right.
So we would prank call our friends.
Of course you would.
And I remember we're pretending to be like the girlfriend that he stood up. or something like that. And
Okay.
he was like, "What? We're supposed to go out?" And he's like, "We're pretending to see."
So is it like a computer voice?
No, it's a woman, like an actual person who works at Verizon, gets like an
Okay.
email saying like, "Hey, one of our users needs to call this person, but they're deaf, so you have to say what's being typed out." It's a legit thing. It was a legit deal. And I think at the time we were like, this girl, we knew this girl, he liked this girl, so we pretended to be her, and she was upset that he didn't show up to their, date, and then it got real crazy. And we were saying some pretty nasty
Now you're on a
things.
list.
And
You're on a list now.
yeah, it was great. I was like, let's imagine this poor woman on the phone with like, our friend Ben. It's like, Ben, Sally says,
Thanks for the jade stone. It
yeah,
was amazing.
it was yeah.
I want to seppuku myself now. Thanks for
Yeah,
breaking
it's
up
crazy
with me.
stuff. But yeah, all right, what's next?
All right, last story here before the break. 4 Southern Californians were arrested and charged with insurance fraud after claiming that their vehicles had been trashed by a bear.
Ooh.
However, it turns out the bear was actually just a person in a bear costume. And I love this, man, because if you look in the article, there's actually the costume of the bear, and it looks kind of real, but it also has pictures of the damage done to the car, and it's got like 3 or 4 little scratches, which were done so haphazardly to look, half-assed.
Yeah, like,
look like
what
a
are they
bear.
trying?
I don't know.
You gotta commit, dog.
But it says the bear reportedly damaged a 2010 Rolls-Royce Ghost. I think that's a really expensive car. On January 8th, as it was parked in the blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think they need to, you know who could get away with this? Thinking of it now.
That dog guy.
The Japanese guy that dressed up like a collie.
Yeah.
Because he really looks like an animal. I don't think you're going to look like a bear. Unless maybe you're like a furry. Maybe they could get away
Make
with
a bear noise for me, Andrew.
it. Is that
Yeah.
it? Well, that's the second time you've made that request to me today.
Make a bear roar.
Because then I think these guys went about it all wrong is what I'm saying. Is rather than trying to pretend it was a bear, say clearly this is a human dressed as a bear doing damage to my car. Rather than just saying, oh, it must have been a real live bear, because obviously they didn't pull it off pretty well. But it says it happened twice more too, to a 2015 Mercedes G63 AMG and a Mercedes E350. Okay, I sense a trend here. All of these tend to be rather expensive cars. See, that was the problem. They went over too much, man.
You just need to hire Dirty Mike and the boys.
No one's doing that to like a Dodge Neon or something.
Well, that's why you put a Dodge Neon next to it and be like, the bear just screwed up all these cars.
Right. And also my Rolls-Royce Ghost. Yeah. But that Neon really got it too. Don't worry about that one though. Well, obviously they were caught. Doesn't sound like these people were very intelligent. Just saying that.
Yeah, maybe.
All right, man. It's probably a pretty good time to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about movie theaters warning not to do this in a new upcoming movie.
Every Friday, tune into Texas Ticket on Conroe's 104.5 and 106.1 FM with Armando Nino of Gold Lake Conroe, focusing on Montgomery County area events and places. Get a feel of the Texas spirit at the event, paired with guest and vendor interviews, event coverage, and ticket giveaways, and so much more. Join us Fridays and punch your Texas ticket. For more information on the show, visit irlonestar.com/Texas Ticket.
And we are back with more Audience of One here on Lone Star Community Radio. And we're here every Friday at 10 a.m., part of the morning programming. So you can always check us out on YouTube, look up Lone Star Community Radio, Facebook Lone Star Community Radio, and then our podcast is look up Audience of One Show. And I always encourage our listeners, if they find a funny article or a funny story, they can always email us at audienceofoneshow@gmail.com. We love listeners sending us some wacky stuff.
Like that one time I found that hilarious story about people trying to seppuku themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just hilarious.
Well, your feed's a lot cleaner than my feed.
We can't do your feed over the radio, sir.
My feed is filled with...
Feet pics.
No, it's more like Hobbit feet.
Whatever.
Yeah, so you could think of it like the craziest thing, and then I always have a little twist to it. on my feed.
There's something for everyone.
Yeah. And
Hobbit feet.
Yeah, I thought we were going to feature that carving station video.
Oh, that's right. Oh,
You didn't like
doggone
that
it.
video I sent you?
We were talking about prime rib last episode or the episode before. That's right. And you sent me this
Yeah.
prime rib or carving station video from. It sounds like it's from the 90s. I've heard it before.
Yeah.
You're right, and I completely forgot about it.
That's what happens when I try to contribute to the show
You can put it on the run
outside
sheet.
of
You
the
can
recording.
put it on the run sheet. You're perfectly allowed to edit the run sheet as long as you don't take any of my great content off of it.
Yeah. I wanted. Let me see if I can find
Well, I
it.
had to call customer service the other day. In this particular case, it was Sirius XM. We were just talking about that.
Okay, what's going on with them?
Yeah, I had to switch services over to a new automobile, or at least I thought I did. And man, I hate calling customer service.
I love it.
It's just, oh, do you now? Well, you know what got me? It did. I
Well-
did actually think about you because it made me wonder.
Oh,
if,
it's
like,
Kathy. Kathy, thank you so much for taking some time with me.
It just made me wonder if like support calls with you are actually the ones that are used for training purposes.
Yeah, I always. Well, my goal when I have support people is I want them to say, "I can hear your smile through the phone."
And right then they're finding a picture of you on the internet and they're putting it up in their office wall saying,
Yeah.
"Do not take calls from this man."
No, I get what I need. One thing I learned being in customer service for so long is if you're nice to them, like overly nice and understanding, you'll get what you want and more 20% of the time.
And here's what we do when we have a problem customer. Play the audio now.
I know.
This man calling in calls himself Dick Schisler. We know that's not real.
Now I get to the right people and I get my
His
refund.
attitude,
I get my refund and I get some more. That's what happens.
his voice just laden with sarcasm.
Oh, Tabitha, this is Dick.
I bet it is.
That's what I do. I wanted to share this with you because it's probably not. It's not on the run sheet, but an ongoing conversation we have here are like just weird sports that are real.
Yes.
And one came across my desk because they're actually performing here in Conroe at the Lone Star Arena. I believe in a couple weeks for the, or I guess you call it the Country's Championships. It is called the American Medieval Combat Federation.
Yeah, it is.
And it literally is that. And I'm going to try to pull up this video.
This is the Medieval Combat Championships.
I'm gonna be playing
on
it-
December 7th and 8th.
Why am I getting ads for hers?
What does hers do? Give her like a lady boner? What's going
Yeah,
on?
I don't know.
I don't know what's up with that. Yeah, this looks absolutely wild. You were showing me video of this before the
So-
show started. Looks crazy. Go ahead. Dave.
Well, it's funny. They reached out and they were going to be. I interviewed I reviewed the president. So they're doing a giant thing, and as you can see in the background of us talking, this is a 5-verse fight, full armor,
Medieval armor,
medieval
head
armor.
to toe,
They're swinging,
wielding
their axes.
Yep. And
Yeah.
it does appear like
real.
It's real. Yeah. Now
It
the
is.
axes aren't razor sharp as you said. They're probably fairly dull.
Look
But
how big that
but
dude is.
they still that guy is massive. But they're hitting each other hard, even with a blunt object. And the object here is to knock the other person down.
Yeah, so there's different rules for different stages. So there's a 5-verse-5, 10-verse-10, 15-verse-15.
Oh!
And then they have singles.
And he was very clear to make known that this is not like LARPing, live action role playing.
No.
This is, by the way, do people still LARP? I know
I
that
imagine.
was popular.
I imagine.
years ago. Okay,
It's only a
this
flesh
is,
wound.
This is right. This is really like fighting,
Yeah.
except they're doing it with armor
Oh, no, he brought in the armor.
and
I-
weapons.
I put-
Down goes another.
I put the helmet on, and the helmet probably weighed, like, no kidding, 18 to 20 pounds. And I was like, how do you swing in this thing?
And I guess it's a delicate balance to find armor
that
that
guy's just
yet is
swinging.
protective.
He's being mean.
Yeah, he is getting pummeled while his other guy holds him. I guess there's a delicate balance of finding armor that's going to protect you adequately, but also light enough to where you can maneuver around. Because if you just made yourself completely a suit of armor, you probably wouldn't get hurt, but yet you couldn't move. Right, so
Yeah.
you're not going to be. So it's an interesting.
Well, like
delicate
in this
balance.
game, the whole object is just putting somebody down. So if you're down, you're out.
Yeah.
But like on the singles one, he was telling me it's actually a point system based off hits. Mm-hmm. So you have to be good with a sword and get clean hits to get points. And if you fall, you get points, but you have to get back up. Like it's not like you're out. So it's actually rounds. So it's like 3-minute rounds, 5-minute rounds. And when I saw this, I thought of the Ocho, and I thought of you. I was like, Andrew, you're not going to believe. We watched that one in Italy where it was like rugby / basketball / MMA.
Mm-hmm. Well, December 7th and 8th, guess what? I will be there with you. This
we're
sounds
going
like
to it.
a
We're actually
really
going to it.
Good time.
Actually, what I'm going to try, my goal, that dude just jumped on the other guy. I don't know if you saw that.
Missed it.
Belly flopped on him. I think my goal is when we go, I want to see if I can get dressed up, and then I want you to hit me with one of the axes. And just be like, just try not to go for the exposed skin area.
I'll do my best.
And just hit me in the head. I'm all right. But what's funny about this, and I remember I was talking to the guy, and I go, why don't you just not make it look medieval? Like, imagine if this is like a real sport, make it look modern. Mm-hmm. You don't have to use that old school.
This is what makes it fun.
Well, because people think you're LARPing. Mm-hmm. It's like they wouldn't think you're LARPing if you have like a modern looking suit on.
Yeah.
And remember that, because I was thinking of that other guy that we showed who got all that money from the government to make body armor or something like that, a bear suit.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, you go follow that guy and try to make a suit.
Now, this just makes it more fun. I think if you're into this type of activity, other people are going to know about it. Just going to let you know. There's no hiding the fact that you're into this kind of stuff, if I had to take a guess. Within moments, people are going to know, oh, he's into this live combat. Oh, look like he got him right where there was no armor. That couldn't have felt good. Yep, down he goes. Well, I think this is a good time to bring up this story. This was not the next story up in the run sheet, but I think it goes along with this. A church mixes sermons with a WWE-style wrestling matches so more people will show up to church. This is awesome. I know that you grew up in a religious household and attended church quite often and even went to ACU, or so I'm told. Mm-hmm. Did your church ever conduct wrestling matches there in the congregation?
No, I remember there was like certain outreaches especially for the youth, because the youth was always in trouble. And I remember there being not wrestling, but stuff like that to get you involved. And awesome. I never cared for. I always slept in the nursery. So
it says St. Peter's in Shipley, Bradford is hosting the bouts as figures show Britain has become a nation of heathens, with sermon attendance at a record low. So Yorkshire's Church Kingdom wrestling matches mix body slams and pile drivers with prayer, worship, and sermons, as well as Christian-based trash talking from its rivals.
Speaking of wrestling, I don't know if you've seen this.
Did you? Never mind.
No, I heard you. I get it. And I mean, churches are going to do whatever they need to do.
I just want to know what Christian-based trash talking sounds like.
Oh, yeah. You didn't pray hard enough. You only prayed on one knee.
Prayer sucks.
Yeah, whatever. Did you? So I know politics and stuff is kind of fun today for Trump, but he's making all these announcements of people of cabinet positions and things like that. I don't know if you saw this, but apparently he nominated Ed McMahon's wife.
Okay.
And someone posted a video of her, and she's like I think he nominated her for like Secretary of Education or something like that.
I wish I knew.
And she's in a wrestling match on WWE, in like
so is Trump
in a lady pantsuit. And,
of course.
And I was sitting there going like, that's kind of fun though, right? Like,
speaking of that, do you think that these church wrestling matches have ring girls? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I was thinking about that the other day with the ring girl thing. Because I was like,
picture I'm looking at, it certainly looks that way.
Well, I was thinking about it because they were talking about that girl from the Jake Paul fight. Like, that's her 15 minutes of fame.
Probably.
And then the UFC girls, I don't really know. Like, what's funny to me is imagine being a lady who fights in the UFC. Do they have ring men during their fights? I didn't really notice.
Oh, that would be interesting. Walk around in a banana hammock,
yeah,
holding up signs.
I was like, I wonder how that works. Because like the girls,
hey, look, equal rights, bro, equal rights.
Well, that's what I was
we
thinking.
can have ring girls during the men's matches. The guys walk around with nothing on.
I was thinking
during their matches. Yeah, that's a good point. Actually, hadn't thought of that.
I would do that.
Would you?
Oh yeah.
Well, you got to get hired first.
I'll get hired. Just take off my shirt and show them the good stuff.
This is twice now you've readily volunteered to get naked.
No, banana hammock. You sold me a banana hammock.
Well, the first one
I've never done that.
Was the willingness to be on a Japanese game show unwillingly naked.
I want to do the elephant one.
I'm sorry, what?
Have you seen the elephant banana hammock?
Uh-huh.
That's the one I'm going to do.
Okay. Thanks for that visual.
Yeah, I think that'd be cool.
Well, the wrestling runs once a month at St. Peter's, where a temporary ring is erected between tall stone columns in the front of the huge stained glass windows of the church.
I'm
That is
down.
awesome. Yeah, I figured that you would be. Dick, when you were a kid,
Yeah, I'm down. Mom, Dad, bring me to church.
right? It kind of reminds me of Nacho Libre and the Lucha Libres. They all have their favorites. Anyways, when you were a kid, were you afraid to use the restroom at school?
No, I was afraid to use the shower
Oh yeah, for obvious reasons. I got that.
because
yeah.
I saw it. I watched it with my brothers.
I
and
did.
That scared.
That scared you?
Like public showers scared the bejesus out of me.
Okay.
Just from that movie, It.
Well, the movie It is terrifying.
Yeah,
I watched it
And
as a child.
I
I was
think
terrified.
I was 4 at the time, 5 at the time when I saw it. My brothers were watching. I'm like, "What's this?" So
Yeah, I was a little older than that.
That's a
but-
clown.
Yeah.
He's
Well, I
coming.
remember as a
Yeah.
kid readily doing number one, but refusing to do the other numbers at school just because it made me feel uncomfortable. So I can identify with
Nah.
this story. But
Man,
one,
when you gotta go, dog.
well, sometimes you can't hold it. Nowadays, it's a different story. But I will say 1 in 3 Gen Z workers are too scared to use the office bathroom.
I believe
a study reveals. Oh my gosh. A UK Bazaar-based surveyed more than 1,000 employees on their workspace habits and calculated the impact of bathroom breaks on company productivity. They found that a surprising number of office workers are reticent about going number 2 in their office.
I believe it.
According to the study, 1 in 12 employees has never pooped at work, while 34% are scared to use the facility. Scared. Now I said scared when I was a kid. I don't know that was really the word. I think I was just uncomfortable. Just look, this is
Well, you
I'm
also
doing
have
something
to
that's
think like the
really
bathroom,
personal and
well, the
private.
bathrooms. I remember being small as a kid.
Is this the shower thing? What?
No, like in the
Okay.
back, going to a public restroom was kind of difficult because the toilets were so big.
Yeah.
And now, like, as we went to school in elementary school, they had smaller toilets, so you could use those. But like, imagine going into one like at the Woodlands Pavilion, you just get lost. But you know what's so funny to me about public bathrooms is like the ecosystem that exists in the bathroom. So I used to work for an IT company, and the IT company was in a 2-story building that
Hold
had
on. You held a job?
yeah. I do so many things, man. I already made my money. No, but what I loved about this building was the top floor of it was a church. That was like the administration for the church, but they were only there on the weekends. And then we were on the bottom floor, and we had about like I would say 2 office rooms, like 2 like actual doors, and then the other side was a oil pipeline maintenance company that literally was one guy's job to sit and had like 19 monitors in front of them of all the pipelines. So usually there's one guy there at all times, and that was it. But somehow the men's bathroom was always clogged.
Funny
And-
how that happens.
But like at where I was working, we had 2 remote guys, me, and I was the guy who opened up. So usually like I opened up, I was by myself till 1 or 2, and then the other guy would come in and take over. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, who is using the restroom and always clogging it? Because we only had 1 toilet.
Not Gen Z,
Yes.
because they're scared.
But I was like, there's only 1 dude across the hall. There might be like a handful of people with like the ladies upstairs from the church. Mm-hmm. So they're not using the men's, but there was always clogged. And it was one of those awkward things because you had to call the soup and be like, yo, they clogged it again. Because I would just fix it myself, but like he refused to leave stuff down there. And I almost brought my own plunger because like it became a reoccurring occurrence. Like every 5 days it'd be clogged. And I don't know whose diet was, like if he's pushing footballs out or something like that. And
Sorry, man. Sounds like it's pretty disturbing for you.
well, it's just like it got me like there's a mystery afoot, and I'm like, who's this? I gotta find this person who doesn't call anybody, doesn't let anyone know, because when you gotta use the restroom, you gotta go, dog.
Well, it says 11% of Gen Z employees claim they've never pooped at work, while 36% are reportedly scared to do so. That there's also a gender disparity. Well, just, good God, dropping the kids off at the office. Nearly half of women are scared to poop at work at 48%, compared to just 19% of men. So there you go. Guys are like, I'll let it go anywhere. Don't care. but nearly half of women
Like
say,
I'm a
ain't doing it."
little scared of porta potties pooping.
You should be. There could be something hiding in there.
Yeah, that's a little creepy. But then again, like if you gotta go, you gotta go.
It says, as for
But I'm
the...
also pretty regular.
Glad to know. As for the
you
reasons
not?
why employees are so toilet shy, one is a lack of privacy as the greatest concern amongst employees at 59%, followed by embarrassment about the smell, 57%, and then a concern about the noise, 47%.
You don't claim that? I claim that. I'm like, yeah, that's me. What do you think? I'm on a toilet, dude. What do you think I'm doing?
It does remind me of that story. I think we covered it last year. The guy in Home Depot who went to the bathroom and said he was going to drop a bomb in here, and somebody reported him while he was dropping a bomb.
I don't know. That never really bothered me too much. But
I
also,
didn't figure you would care, but I know as a kid I never did that at school, and it worked for the most part. But again, as things change as you get older, man. Things
well, I mean,
change.
just thankfully you're in a closed space that's somewhat private. Like that's what I like about urinals, the evolution of urinals for men. It's like some of them are
Okay.
like they used to just be a trough, and you're just like, boom, everyone can just go in the same bucket. And then they're now it's like, oh no, we have individual ones, but we're not putting any dividers.
I wonder what urinals are going to look like in the metaverse.
I think it's just a tube.
Oh yeah, they just stick it on there and suck it out.
Yeah, just suck it out.
You just let it go.
But again, I don't understand why people are using the restroom that often at work. Like to me, I'm pretty regular. Like right when I wake up, have some coffee, and I'm good to go for that day. And then there's probably a 50% chance when I get home, like, you know what, I could go again. I mean,
Thank you for sharing your
yeah. Well,
your routine, man.
I'm not part of this.
Didn't ask. Didn't ask.
I'm not part of this statistic. I'm like, I don't really see the problem here.
Well, you're also not Gen Z.
What's Gen Z?
The one below us. They were like 2001 to 2015. I don't know. I don't know.
They're going to the office?
No, they're a little bit younger. Like these are young 20-somethings.
Yeah, they're not going to the office. They're working from home. Yeah. So they're afraid to go to the bathroom
At
in their own house.
No, I forget when is Gen Z. It's like 90s to the early 2000s or something like that is Gen Z.
Well, then
And
again,
like Alpha is the teenage
you also
kids
have to
now.
think of this. You have like the ultimate toilet at home, right? You have like the Japanese one that like heats and
I do.
sprays and cleans and fluffs.
All right.
Well, I mean, I imagine that's what Gen Zs have.
I'm sorry, Fluffs.
I just made that up. I don't know idea.
Where are you buying your toilet at?
My toilet.
Goop, goop.
Goop, goop, dude. Would you like the Jade Stone entry option?
Dick, are you
Can
planning?
you imagine
Are
this?
you planning on seeing the movie Wicked?
No.
No, you're not going to watch it, huh?
No, I don't care about that crap.
You watch all kinds of terrible movies. I just assumed Wicked was going to be right up your alley. I think I'm going to go see it.
No, I mean,
It looks interesting to me.
I know the story, and
I don't.
I mean, to me though, I'd rather see the play.
Okay.
If I'm going to waste my time.
Well, then this story is not for you because if you plan on going to Wicked, AMC movie theaters have said you are not allowed
Sing.
to sing along. But I don't understand, if you've never seen the movie, how do you already know the words to the songs?
Oh, but everyone's going to see it.
And you see it again and again
Because
and again and
I think
again.
it's like the longest running Broadway production.
Oh, is it? I don't know
Yeah,
this.
I think it is.
Okay, then the songs are not going to be new then.
Yeah.
Okay, my
Are you an
bad.
idiot?
I am. I'm wicked ignorant.
That's true. No, I had no desire to see that movie. You know, it's weird. It takes something of me to be motivated to go see a movie.
Well, they have released the following statement. At AMC theaters, silence is golden.
No, you're gonna love
No
this.
talking, no texting, no singing, no wailing, no flirting, and absolutely no name calling, but enjoy the magic of movies. Screw you, AMC. I'm singing. You ever been to a concert?
Sing along?
No. A concert where people are singing so loud that you can't actually hear the person who's singing.
I don't know.
Because I went to the Jonas Brothers last year. We took the daughter to go see
Oh,
that
that's
with the
right.
wife as well. Yeah, and I have to admit, not being a Jonas Brothers fan, they had some songs that I rather enjoyed, but I will say the demographic there is of the singing kind. This was a lot of young girls
Any
singing.
hot singles?
I imagine if you're into 15-year-olds, they were probably playing. No, there were some younger 21s in there, I'm assuming. But everyone was singing so loud. And I do admit at times it seemed like I could hear them more than I could hear Mr. Joe Jonas or whomever was singing. Kevin. No, he just plays the guitar. I don't know. Quickly, name all the Jonas Brothers.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
All right, well, no singing at Wicked, okay? Police in Peru have arrested a man caught trying to leave the country with $320 tarantulas, 110 centipedes, and 9
Wow.
bullet ants strapped to his body. Bullet ants. You remember we talked about
Whoa.
those?
Yeah, those are
right
tight.
because that was the story
Hey,
we
these
covered
got
about.
so big.
Let them bite you.
Just let me bite me.
No, we talked about bullet
I want to
ants
see this.
months and
Where's
months
the
ago
shirt?
when the guy was testing out what insects had the highest venom.
Yeah. Bullet ants were number
the most
one, right?
painful, and bullet ant was number one. This guy was sneaking them into the country. I have no idea
On
why.
a shirt.
It says that 28-year-old South Korean national was stopped at Jorge Chavez International Airport in Lima on November 8th after officials noticed that his stomach area looked, quote, bulky. I've been stopped for that before, according to a statement from the country's National Forest Wildlife Service. So he's walking through there, and when I first saw this story, I thought, was he just letting these things crawl around on him? But apparently he had these things in tubes. And there's a picture inside this.
I got this. I'll show you.
Yeah,
this.
there's a picture
This is
inside
great.
this article of all these tubes of these things.
Well, I love
and
it.
It is
It's like
wicked.
I like
looking.
how they're not really closed tubes. It's cotton swabs.
Yeah, he just put like some cotton in the end of them. That'll hold them. That's good enough. Oh, you ever seen the tarantula out in the wild? By the way,
Yeah.
dude, they're kind of cool
I've held
looking.
them.
I've touched one with one finger
Did you
just to
pet
feel
it? Did
just to
you
feel
pet
to
it?
feel the hair, and I'm like, and I'm done because they freak me out. But they are harmless, right?
Certain ones. Most of them are.
Well, I'm just gonna pretend all.
They
of
can
them.
still bite you.
Yeah, right. Exactly. They've got
And they're
fangs.
big.
They're meaty too.
Yeah. Like they're big.
I have seen footage of like during the mating season when the males come out and look like Conor McGregor doing his walk. They all just come like walking across the street and just looks like, I don't know, an ocean of big old furry spiders looking for some
I'm
lady
telling
action.
you, it's funny that a bathroom scares me from it, but the end of it doesn't really scare me. Or is it
Say
giant?
what?
Is it the end of it? He's a giant spider.
He is?
Yeah. He's
I don't remember it.
Poor
You were
little-
really into it, by the way.
I'm just letting you know. I find that kind of funny. Like most people would be like, "Oh, he's afraid of spiders because of the movie It." No, I'm afraid of public restrooms, public showers. Why? Because
Well, apparently tarantulas are a threatened species and they do have a certain value. So this guy was smuggling them in. I just don't know who wants a tarantula. Again, ladies, if you meet a guy and he has a tarantula, red flag. Tarantula guy, red flag.
I don't believe in red
Without a
flags.
doubt. Oh, that's because
'Cause-
you are a walking. If you don't believe in red flags, you are a red flag, sir.
That's true. Well, remember
Red
that?
flag
Remember
is
that
not
one girl I was
believing in-
telling you about? I was like, "Oh, she breeds snakes." That's not a red flag,
Oh,
is it?
that's a tornado siren. Is
I
what
like
that
it.
is.
I think it's great. I think as long as you have a hobby that doesn't bother me, I'm
Well,
good.
this is the craziest part of this. It says they were all illegally extracted and are part of an illegal wildlife tracking
Yeah.
worth millions
Oh, you think he
of
would-
dollars.
You think he was trying to
globally.
traffic?
Yeah.
You didn't think? Oh,
No. My point is here, it's worth millions of dollars.
I
That's what they
believe
were
it.
saying for not necessarily what his haul
like
was.
the 9
but just
bullet ants.
in general. Yeah, to top it off, like
9.
it's like yeah, I got tarantulas, 300 of them, some centipedes, but guess what? 9 bullet ants.
That's all I could get, man.
I can't
The
find them in
streets
that
are hard
picture.
on the bullet ants.
It does just look like I see tarantulas. I don't see any bullet ants in there though.
Well, there's only 9 of them. And
Yeah,
they're only
300.
I think they're as big as what, like my dip pouch. I think they're about that big.
Okay. It says back in December of 2021, some of these same Colombian authorities seized 232 tarantulas, 67
Dang, dude.
cockroaches, 9 spider eggs, and a scorpion of 7 with its young, all hidden in the suitcase and in the airport in El Dorado. Man, these guys need to find a hobby. Just saying. Just saying.
I think if you're making that kind of money for those little dang spiders, I'd do it.
Okay, I suppose you're going to have to vamp. I'm having internet issues.
Well, the next article you have,
Oh, here I've got it. A man was found naked living in the crawl space under an elderly woman's home.
Another one of these
in
stories?
Southern California. Yes,
Another one of these stories.
Yes, but this is what's interesting about it. It says a naked man was arrested by police after he was found hiding in a crawl space
homeless.
beneath a 93-year-old woman's house early Friday morning.
what
It says-
what are you sending me?
Listen-
Look
listen
at
to
this.
this.
I want to show you this.
Isaac Bittencourt, 27, is suspected to have been living underneath the home for 6 months. Good God.
Yeah, here, I want to show a picture of the.
He wasn't homeless. He was doing perfectly fine.
Really?
What's funny is he wouldn't go down without a fight. It said Los Angeles police said that the extraction took hours and countless resources, including tear gas. Their efforts took so long and caused such a ruckus that sleeping neighbors resorted to finding other places to rest for the night. This ain't leaving, man. This is my home too. They sent dogs in there. Didn't care. Tear gas. Didn't care about that. What
All
are
right,
you trying to show?
Well, I wanted to show you a couple things.
You're just destined to show.
well,
the
I'm
ads.
scrolling through this, and I'm going to gain my confidence back in the bedroom with whatever.
So those ads are perfectly targeted or personally targeted for the person's IP
Yeah.
address. I'm looking at the very same article, and I have none of that, sir. So just so
Well,
you
they're
know.
not ads; they're sponsored stories.
I have ads for looks like cars.com here. Looks like a nice Lexus, late model Lexus. I have Liquid IV. That's another ad I'm getting here.
I'm getting weird stuff. I like.
I'm getting
it.
trending
Oh,
now. Yeah, I'm getting nothing about.
I forgot to tell you.
Boner meds.
You
Sounds like a personal
I love
problem.
all these stories about people living under houses. 'Cause
Yes.
that's what I would pay you to do. I'll be like, hey, that's
Another thing
another.
to
I'm
do.
adding it.
Uh-huh.
Andrew, how much would it take for you to
Contest,
live
live
underneath this
naked,
guy's
yeah, okay,
house?
mhm.
I wanted to tell you, I'm pretty sure I have an update for our American billionaire Brian Johnson.
I heard about this. I heard about this.
So, if the listeners don't know, we've been following this guy. He's
really one of the
he-
first stories we covered when this show started.
Yeah, so he made a lot of money, and now he's bored, and he wants to live forever or live younger. He wants to be younger, so he's doing all these studies on his own body to how to basically put his body back at age 18. So he's doing blood transfusions from his son.
Right,
I
he's
think
got a
it
blood
was.
boy.
He's got a blood boy, and
Yep.
then he's doing all sorts of stuff. Well, apparently, he was doing research on anti-aging facial, and he was getting donor fat put into his face. So like younger people's fat to like I guess put in his face.
Uh-oh, is he starting to look distorted or something? Oh no! What has happened to our Brian Johnson? Our
And
once,
Brian Johnson-
our once youthful-looking Brian Johnson looks like the
think he
lead
might be
singer
allergic.
of a Filipino Journey cover band.
There's no,
Oh, no.
Yeah. So I wanted to tell you that because I thought
That's
that was-
him?
That's him.
He looks unrecognizable. Oh no! All of his efforts that he has done over the last X number of years to try and stay young, all the shock therapy to his genitals, everything, blood transfusions,
The shock genital one.
Yeah.
Basically, I remember
all of this out the
he
window
was
now.
trying to do that so he could. Was he trying to up his sperm count or was this testosterone?
I believe he was trying to have erections that an 18-year-old would have.
Oh,
quote.
that's right. That's right. Because he even had a PowerPoint of it. remember we found the PowerPoint?
Yes. Here are the
Man.
different stages, and I don't want to be here
Well,
or here. I
oh,
want to be
dude,
in stage
That
3.
reminds me. I don't know. I'm going to try to find it.
Oh no,
'cause
I was not aware of this. I had heard he was back in the news, but I thought he had made news for wanting to fight Jake Paul or something. I wasn't entirely sure.
Well, I'm going to find this real quick. Just give me a couple seconds. I saw an ad
Yes.
that he created. He was like in a park selling some wine or juice.
Oh, this guy.
And I
Leave
wanna-
no stone unturned
Oh,
in terms of making a buck.
Yeah, longevity mix. There we go.
Oh, and now he's hawking.
Let me see if I can find.
This guy's a grifter, man.
Oh yeah, no, because
Complete grift.
No, he said that he was doing this so he could help people. So, I mean, I get it. I like it. I'm trying to find. There's like, but it was the ad was hilarious. Like they're in a park and these strangers are walking by and you're having this billionaire kind of like, I went through the process of finding the greatest berries that do this and this with your blood, and then you're going like, just give me the free drink, dog. I don't want to know. I want to see where. I gotta find it, but yeah. So his face got jacked up. I thought you'd love that.
Yeah,
And-
I do.
Like he has a video called "F It." I built the perfect meal. Like, look at this guy. This guy's my favorite guy. Look, this is what he's selling to you now.
He looks normal there. Well, looks more like I remember him looking like.
Well, I think he's almost 50.
Yes, he's almost 50. He does look about 30 years old, so I will give him that. He's wearing a shirt that says "Don't die."
Yeah.
Very threatening.
Well, what's interesting to me about this is would you want to look like you're 20?
Yes, the answer is yes.
I would rather look like a rugged 30.
Oh, if you're asking me between now and 20, or just what age do I
Because
want
like,
to
what
look at?
happens if he discovers methods that really do de-age you? But,
Yeah, 30's a good
But
age.
you've already gone over the slope.
Yeah.
So you're like, I'm getting younger. Oh, now I'm like 17. Like, I don't want to look 17. But I mean, does it look like plastic surgery?
It does kind of almost look like he's had some work done. That or the Botox is really in there pretty tight.
But there's an ad out there that he's like in a park and he's just stopping
no, I think
people.
30 is a good age to look. Yes,
Yeah,
if you're gonna ask me.
I would love to be like a rugged 30, like a Marlboro man. Like just
Rugged 30.
if someone looked at me, like he's been places. but he can also take care of business.
Rugged, so you have a beard like you have now.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm going to say
looking-
something
I'm looking really
a little
good these
controversial. I think we're over bearded. I can say this as a bearded guy. I'm looking around.
I like my beard.
Far too many guys are wearing beards these days. I think we're over bearded. We need to cut it back. Let's dial it back on the beards a little bit, guys.
I'm gonna get you this. There's
Thank
a
you
snake
for
oil.
that.
That's what he was doing. It's called snake oil.
It literally is called snake oil.
Yeah, it's on the
If I
bo-
call it
yeah.
that, no one will actually believe that it's not actually snake oil. Well, whatever. All right, it's about time.
You don't think I'll put you on this. I want
Go
to see.
for it.
I want to see you look younger than me.
Just look at the mirror right now.
Oh, really? I do look like a hobo.
Not in the mirror, but whatever. Just
Yeah.
look at me. All right, it's a good time for the quick hit here at the end of the show. But calling a man bald now can be classified as sexual assault. A UK employee tribunal judge has ruled. What is a tribunal judge? As composed
There's three
to
of them.
a judge. Oh, is that the tribunal?
Tribunal.
I guess I didn't know that. 3 members of the tribunal. That's the next sentence.
What it is?
3 members of the tribunal who decided on the ruling and alluded to their own experiences of hair loss, said that baldness was more prevalent in men than women. Therefore, they argued that the use of the word bald as an insult related to a protected characteristic of sex.
Yeah, I think it was a tribunal that killed Jesus. If I remember, you claimed that I was a Bible person.
In between wrestling matches, you were listening, I
Yeah,
guess.
I want to say it was a tribunal.
Tribunal. Okay.
See, that's really smart. You get the Romans to do it.
right. Right. Let them do your dirty work for you.
But there was another video I wanted to.
It says the tribunal compared calling a man bald to commenting on the size of women's breasts
Really?
based on a 1995 case. Yeah, this is from CNBC.com, so it must be true.
I like it.
Yeah, so do not call a man bald. It could be misconstrued as
I don't-
sexual assault. And that's
I mean,
all.
isn't okay? So maybe I'm not understand what sexual assault is then, because like if I
sexual harassment. Sorry, not
okay
assault,
about yeah
harassment.
good because I was
Sorry,
like
not.
I was like
assault.
I whistle at chicks all the time. Like,
All the flipping
there's a
time.
nice fupa.
Yeah. Cat calling.
Yeah.
Bring that fubo my way. They love it when you do
Yeah,
that.
they love
it. Man, that is the best.
Oh, see, that's harassment. When you said assault, I was like, man, they're taking
Sexual harassment.
They're taking this another way. Like, do I understand what that means now? I have no idea what that means. That's funny.
Just complimenting that fubo.
What's wrong with that?
Love the way those tights look over.
Oh, we're gonna go watch Wicked.
Yep, you and I, we're gonna first. We're
Dude, I
first
will
gonna go
ne-
to the combat. What is it? The medieval combat championships, and then we're gonna go see Wicked together.
Yeah.
But no
What-
singing.
I'm gonna dose you with mushrooms, and we're gonna go to that thing, and we're gonna be like,
Dude, I'm gonna be tripping like I just traveled back in
Hey,
time.
we're back in time, man. It's funny. I was hearing a story from our mutual friend Cindy, and she was telling me the story about the movie. She went to
The great Cindy Cochran.
Yeah, she went to the X-rate. No. Sorry, I'm going to start over. Not X-rated.
Yeah, that was Tuesday's show. I listened.
Yeah,
I
it's
heard
like
that.
XR or something like that.
Yes, it's the new Rock movie.
Yeah. Well, no, like the theater itself is called like the XR.
Oh yeah,
Pro
yeah.
or
Sorry,
something
yes,
like that.
it's a 4D movie.
But the chairs move and everything.
It squirts
And
water at you and blows wind.
Yeah,
and,
we'll go see Wicked in that.
and when they go to sing, oh, your hair starts blowing back.
Oh, I love it. And then I'll try to. What I love though is think about the people trying to sing along.
Yeah.
And like,
By the way, I heard that new Rock movie is not doing all that great. And it did get me thinking about The Rock in general because it seemed like there for a while, anything he did was a huge success. And this is the first time I've heard something.
yeah, but his stick is over.
That's okay. This is where I'm going. Do you think maybe the shine is kind of off the Rock?
What he needed to do was get a franchise, kind of like Jumanji, similarly, but like he's the main star and he's the only one doing it.
Yeah.
But he's not. He's in all these like outrageous movies that have these plots that are so stupid. No one's gonna like.
Well, he looks the same in every movie.
Well, that's
He's
what I'm saying,
basically
like-
the same character. He's a one-trick guy. Whatever. It's a good trick. I like him. He's a likable guy. But it does seem like when your acting chops are this narrow, eventually that runs its course, and then it's kind of over. And I just wonder if maybe we're kind of starting to see the end of where The Rock is instant success for a movie. I don't know. Maybe not.
I mean, I like Rampage.
Rampage?
So you didn't really see it?
No, must not have seen it.
No.
Is that a name of one of his movies?
Yeah.
No, must have missed
Based off the video game.
Yeah, I was just about to say I remember the video
Yeah,
game.
it's literally based off the video game.
So that's why I didn't see it.
ridiculous.
Yeah. All right, Onesie, that's all we've got time for this week. We appreciate you listening to me fumbling around these news stories. It was a good time, Dick.
Yeah, it was wonderful to see you.
Yeah.
Audience of one, our onesies out there. Have a nice Thanksgiving.
No, don't we have one more episode before Thanksgiving?
No, Thanksgiving is next Friday.
Oh yeah, you're right. This is the last episode. I finally messed that up. So
Oh,
we're gonna
you've been
try.
messing up
we're
all
gonna
day
I
today,
have been
dog.
messing up all day. I've been really busy. My mind is strung out. Yeah, so we're gonna try and get an episode in next week so that we'll have a fresh episode when you're enjoying Black Friday, getting all
Enjoying
your
that toilet.
great deals on new toilets and squatty potties and whatever else you're buying these days. We should have a new episode for next week. We'll try and squeeze it in.
Bye.
Bye.